Primetime Monday continues from Nashville. And now, Cynthia McFadden.
This is America's other Broadway, Nashville's Broadway, a mecca for talented musicians and songwriters, most of whom will not make it. Some of those who have made it in the last few years have looked and sounded more pop than country, but not the man you're about to meet next, who soared right by Music Row into America's living rooms and hearts. He's not particularly pretty. He's been around the block. And there's not much chance he'll ever cross over to the pop charts.
As she put on her makeup.
But after 20 years of trying, Buddy Jewell is country music's latest overnight sensation.
She just packed up her suitcase.
Getting there hasn't been easy.
We left Texas 10 years ago and got to Nashville and essentially didn't know a soul there.
Am I dreaming?
Jewell was rejected by all of the major labels, sometimes more than once. He did find work as a demo singer, recording new music for dozens of Nashville songwriters, but it wasn't his dream.
I was so sure my world was coming to an end.
Did you lose faith that the dreams would ever come true?
Yeah, I did, based on what the industry was signing. I was too country, too 40, too a lot of things.
Buddy Jewell had all but given up. But then, last fall, the Nashville Star came to town. Jewell reluctantly decided to audition for the new reality TV talent show.
All my exes live in Texas.
Certain he'd be a loser once again, he went to the first cattle call. So tell me the truth. When you arrived the first day and you saw who your competition was, I mean some very young and pretty girls,
Gonna move you uptown.
some very sort of punk-looking guys. Did you think?
Thought I didn't stand a chance.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I'd been conditioned, to think that.
In all, 8,000 people auditioned. Each had 30 seconds to win one of the 12 spots on the show. Some were better than others. What did you do for your 30 seconds?
I sang the first couple lines of Clint Black's Killing Time.
You were the first thing that I thought of when I thought I drank you off my mind.
I'll never forget seeing this guy come out of the throng of people with this long duster jacket on, this black hat, who looked like something out of a Clint Eastwood movie. I thought, oh, this guy's trying too hard.
Despite Buddy's less than hip image, producer George Vashore heard something the Music Row execs never had.
When he went into that auditorium and started singing, everyone in the place just stopped and just was mesmerized. And we knew instantly, he's got it.
Hey, thanks, man. Oh, man, I'm in.
For 9 weeks, viewers watched the star wannabes living in a house on Nashville's Music Row.
When I walked in, man, I thought, man, this is a pretty cool place.
The major change we saw in Buddy over the course of the series was he emerged as Buddy Jewell himself. He was a father, he was a Christian, he was a guy who had had a kind of a dark past. He'd driven beer trucks, he'd done it all. And I think the audience loved that about him.
From Carolina down to Georgia, smell the jasmine and magnolia, sleepy sweet home, Alabama, roll tide roll.
What they saw in Buddy Jewell was a regular guy who closely identifies with the South and his native Arkansas, who grew up not rich, not poor, a guy who hit the road and joined a band, and who scraped by, washing cars, bagging groceries.
I can't believe it.
Week after week, the viewers came to know Buddy Jewell, and they liked him. And it would be up to them to decide who would get the coveted recording contract with Sony Nashville to be produced by country legend Clint Black.
Country music has to be real. The people making the country music have to be real or seem real. And I think that the fans know that. And when they were looking at those contestants up there, they were choosing themselves in some way.
And that's one in a row.
One real subject that didn't come up on the show was Buddy's struggle with drugs and alcohol, but he's willing to tackle it head on.
I drank and drugged my way through life for 13 years, and a lot of it, I don't remember.
He was arrested 10 years ago for drunk driving, and his wife, Tanae, threatened to leave him.
I just had so much to live for, and I had wasted so much, time.
But I made it through the night.
I used to tell people, I thought that I was coming to Nashville to be the next Garth Brooks, and God would just bring me there to sober me up.
Well, maybe both things.
Hey, that wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Despite the attention right now, he says his sobriety and his family are what matters most to him.
I was riding with my daughter.
In fact, daughter Lacey inspired his current hit single, Help Pour Out the Rain, when she told him she didn't want to go to heaven.
I told her, I said, well, I think you should reconsider. And then she was real quiet for a little bit, and she said, well, if I go to heaven, will God let me help pour out the rain?
And do you think that God could use another angel to help pour out the rain?
Viewers went crazy for the song and the singer. After 9 weeks, only Buddy Jewell and John Arthur Martinez were left.
In this envelope, I have the name of the person who has received the most votes.
I just was waiting for them to call his name.
But 2 million viewers were calling Buddy Jewell's name.
Our very first Nashville star is Buddy Jewell!
I still couldn't believe that it was actually finally happening to me. Somebody finally saying yes. The door opening and somebody saying, come on in.
First, I want to say thank you to Jesus Christ for blessing me.
I gave him a coin that I have carried around with me for years. And it said the only easy day was yesterday. I knew how hard Buddy was going to be working.
He has been working hard, recording the record, touring the country.
Like Daddy when we get to heaven.
And Lacey's song has been at the top of the charts for months. It has struck a deep chord. Jewell has received an avalanche of mail from parents who have sick or dying children. Their stories have deeply affected him, especially one very sick little boy who told the Make-A-Wish Foundation his wish was to meet Buddy Jewell.
Use another angel to help pour out the road. When I get to heaven, can I taste the Milky Way?
Life right now is very good.
'Cause I'm coming home to stay.
When we first came here to do the show, Nashville and all the labels said to us, you're not going to find anybody good. If they're any good, we know who they are, and we got them already. And we found Buddy Jewell, who was right in their front yard the whole time for the last 10 years.
To help pour out the rain.
It is a sort of sweet revenge.
I'd be lying if I didn't say I wasn't enjoying that.
The first track on the album is dedicated to his years of rejection.
I want to thank everyone who ever told me no. Pack it up and get back home.
Kind of like a cross between a Seabiscuit and Cinderella, I think, with a goatee.
I want to thank everyone who ever told me no.